Hi everybody, and welcome back to PMDG Jetstream J41 tutorial part 4. This one I've been waiting for, the one that's going to be takeoff, cruise, and final and landing. So let's not waste any time here. This could take a little bit, and let's get on in. I am going to mute the sound after takeoff. I just want you guys to hear the call out, although you'll hear it for yourself when you do it, but just so you can hear it. Alright, so I'm going to mute it right now for a sec. Just for checking, when you think you're ready for takeoff, go ahead and go look at the first officer side. And then this little black button right here is a takeoff test. Before you take off, if you think you missed something or you don't know if everything's ready, you just click on that. If there's no horn, like there's a horn for me. That's because I have my parking brake on. But after I take it off, no horn, so I'm ready to take off. Alright, so I'm gonna turn my sound back on, and you guys can just listen to the readouts. Once I climb up and start messing with the other stuff, I'll turn it off again. Remember to set your condition levers to flight too. Control F4.
Condition levers flight.
And here we go.
Takeoff power set. $70 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Flaps up.
Alright, so I just took off, put my gear up and my flaps up, and now I'm going to go ahead and press the heading. I'm going to go ahead and turn my autopilot on. Remember that you're on heading hold. Your heading should be set to 304, like I told you in the last tutorial. Shift 3, press the autopilot button right there, and then you can also go ahead and start pressing that down, and so you can start climbing. So remember that you should have it on heading. It should be from heading to het. So remember that. It should be on that in the F and C. And you should have your heading hold on along with your altitude select and your vertical speed hold. And you can go ahead and start pressing that up. If you want to check what your vertical speed is, it's right there. I like to set mine to 1/600 since it's not quite a commercial jet. It doesn't have the climbing power. So going to 1/800 is just a little too much. You'll start your speed will start decreasing very fast. Actually not that fast, pretty slow, but you'll still start decreasing speed. So just do that. Speaking of speed, you can also, this plane does have a cool feature, you can also set it so it climbs at a certain speed. So say you want to climb at 202 or 203 or whatever it is right now, you then can click the IS button, and what it'll do is it'll try to maintain the speed by adjusting the attitude that you're at. So if I click it right now, it's trying to stay at 206 by adjusting the attitude. So that's if you know the optimal speed of climbing out, and I think it's about 180. I'm not really sure. You can tell me that later on. But now we're off, and I'm just about to hit that VOR. Actually, I hit it back, so I'm gonna go ahead and press it. Press nav now, and you'll notice yourself start turning. And now you're following your flight plan. It's as simple as that. Nothing else. Just 2 buttons. That's all you gotta hit, and you're on your way. You'll see. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Should have told you this on the ground. I changed my altitude to 20,000 because 13,000 was too low. I don't know why I chose that, but 20,000 is a good altitude for this flight since it's a small airplane. It'll get you there in about 45 minutes, so it's 45 minutes to an hour. And 20,000 feet will be a good altitude for that. So I just changed that. Remember, you can go to data, and then enter your altitude, 20,000. Click enter a couple times, and you got it set, and then just set it in your altitude knob. And you can change it during flight too. So if you want to change it to 20,000 while you're flying, do the same thing. Data, 20,000. Enter, and then make sure that you set it on the altitude knob, and that if you already are at 13,000, then it should be on altitude only, but you'll want to click altitude select and vertical speed, and then change your vertical speed. Or if you like IAS, you can click that too, and pitch it to where you want to, then click it for your speed. That's how you change it in flight. Pretty simple, same way you would do it on the ground, except you just might have to change a couple things. I may show you that if I get to my altitude in time. Just make sure you're always checking your stuff. So, you know, look down at your map every now and then, make sure you're following your flight plan. Remember, you can zoom in on your map by clicking the range buttons. And you can go ahead and oh yeah, FMC. FMC has some pretty cool features to it while you're flying. Actually, it can tell you what altitudes you need to be at each one at least. I mean at most. You need to be at most at 20,000 when you get to TOC. So it tells you like at Headley I should be at 10,700. No, 18,700 at Headley. And then at PHK I should be at 20,000. And once you start descending, it'll show you what you need to be at or below by then. So I'll try to get at Barron, I'll be at 10,500, I'll set that, and that, so on and so forth. But I'll show you that in the next tutorial. This is just cruising and takeoff. I'm going pretty fast. I'm gonna raise my vertical speed a little bit since I'm going 203 knots. Too high. Oh yeah. Alright, once again, you know, after taking off, make sure your flaps are up. It's simple stuff. You should know that by now if you're flying this plane. Let me just go over radio, some simple stuff while we're in the flight. Here's your radio stack. You can change that, you know, with the knobs. Outer knob does, I think I went over this last time, but just to refresh it. Outer knob does the bigger numbers. Inner knob does the smaller numbers. You can change from one to the other. So if you want to change the nav, you just click the line select button, just like on an FMC. That'll be this one. To switch between the two, you click the switch button. If you fly on the Learjet, this is what it looks like on the Learjet too. If you want to switch to your transponder, it's the 1200 number. You click this button, line select 2, and you can change it. Outer knob actually does the number selecting at this time, and the inner knob changes that number it's selected at, so that little line. And you can do that for any of them, just switch between the two with the line select buttons. FMC can also change it too, actually. So if you go to FMC, shift 3, go to tune, you can change it through this. And this is the COM, so you can choose your preset what you're going to change between the two. And then you can go to the next page, and this will be your nav radios. And then you can go to the next page, and this is your transponder. And you can change the transponder on here, and everything you set in here will change on the screen too. You can also change your heading on here. So, you know, whatever you want your heading to be, cancel, whatever. Let's see what else we got on here. Make sure you don't hold that on button or else you turn it off, and you gotta reset it all. Your flight plan, check your flight plan. It'll tell you how much time you got till you reach each one. It'll be about a minute till I hit V max. And you can just keep going through the pages. It'll tell you how much time till you reach each one from where you are. So from where I am to runway 35, it should be 40 minutes. And your navigation page, and you look through that. You know, it'll tell you your wind, some other things. You can mess around with it. Pretty simple. And that's it, pretty much, with this. I still got a while to go, so I'll let you guys look at the plane a little bit. And I'm probably going to skip ahead here till I get about 1,000 feet below from my altitude. So I've reached my altitude, and well, I meant to show you this before I reached it, but something happened with the fraps. But I'll just tell you it. What happened was a beep sounded, a horn, and there's nothing to be alarmed with when that horn sounds. It's all it is 1,000 feet away. It's just telling you that you've reached your altitude. And then what happens after that is you can then once you reach your altitude, the vertical speed will turn off, and it'll go to altitude select cap. Once you've reached, once it's leveled out to 20,000, it'll just go to altitude, and then you're cruising. So from then, what you want to do is, see, I showed you this before, and I didn't know it ran out of memory, I guess. I don't know. Then what you want to do is you want to slow down, and you want to bring your throttle back to halfway once you leveled out. And then you want to press Control F2 till the RPM goes to 90. And this is for engine efficiency. In real life, this is what they would do in order to keep the engines from wearing down so fast. You don't have to do it because it's just a simulation, but you know, if you want to be realistic, you can go ahead and press that. And bring it, and then you can't bring your throttle lever all the way back up. You can only keep it about halfway, or 3/4 of the way up, or else you'll overheat and blow your engines. Which will happen in the game, which really sucks. So yeah, just make sure that once you level off, you should be at 100 RPM. That will be your prop, your condition levers. Once you level off, bring your throttle back to halfway, Control F2, just tap it until you reach 90.0. Just tap it. You don't have to hold it. And then you're at your optimal cruising speed. And so then what you want to do after you do that is you want to then raise your throttle just a little bit until you're grinding that orange line, and then you're at optimal speed. And yeah, that's it. Then you're cruising, you're on your way, and you should get there in about I'd say another 30 minutes if you're doing my flight. Whatever yours is, you can be there whenever. Alright, so I'll skip ahead now to the next part, to the next tutorial, and you guys can watch that. I'll try to get those both up at the same time for you guys. Alright.